Hello, everyone. My name is Rolf Tröndle, and I welcome you to ChangeCockpit May 2024 Copilot Edition. This is the free edition of ChangeCockpit containing only Copilot for Microsoft 365 changes. All the other workloads are included in the subscriber edition of ChangeCockpit. If you are interested in joining there, and if you aren't a subscriber yet, then you can go to changecockpit.cloud and subscribe for a demo version. So as we see this month, we have in total 104 changes to announce. That's only changes which are rolling out this and the following month, meaning May and June. But we focus only now, as just mentioned, for Copilot in M365. Slides are built as follows. We have a title, then we have the description of the change, this change which I just announced. Then we see, if available, a screenshot. I include as ever possible workload where we are in this edition. It's only Copilot, but let's say we are in Teams or Exchange Online, just to mention on what feature and workload we are talking about. Then on the right side here in the middle, we have more information. So if you think, oh, this change is quite important for me or my users, then you can dig in deeper using this provided information, or you can always come and ask. This is part of ChangeCockpit service. Then status, that's the expected rollout date. I say expected because sometimes there are some slight delays, let's say. Then we have the target audience of the change. In every workload, I start with user information changes and following the admin information changes. This means that's only important for admin, like an admin center change or something like this. Then we have a license note. My base license is Business Premium or Microsoft 365 E3. And if it needs an additional license to this, then this will be mentioned right here. And last but not least, we have a relevance score. Microsoft normally puts out a relevance score to a change, and this one is bold. Formatted like this one here in low, and if I think that's not quite accurate, I think it's not medium in this case here, it's low, then I color it. So if you see a color change, then it's an override. And last but not least, on the lower right corner, we have the slide number. So if you would like to take some notes, just add the slide number to the note and you know what change you're taking notes of. So then let's start with Copilot for M365. First of all, we have Copilot in the new planner. New planner is currently rolling out, and Copilot will also be part of this new planner, but for now in preview. This is not included in Copilot for M365 licensing. It needs an additional license. Currently, it's or for the preview phase, it's in Project Plan 3 and 5 included, but the final pricing has to be announced once it gets out of preview. We can see here Copilot in Planner. I asked Copilot, create tasks for ChangeCockpit preparation. Okay, here you go. And it created some tasks which could help me, and I can for sure change the tasks in what favor I like to. Next change is Copilot app in Outlook. This is an experience which will be built into Outlook, not only the new Outlook and Outlook on the web, it will be also introduced in Outlook Classic. And it's the same experience as if you go to Copilot of Microsoft.com and switch to work mode. So it will have access to Microsoft, to the search, graph-based search, and can use all your company data as input. Not all, but all the company data where you have access to. And the timeline is a bit different. Classic Outlook will get the preview in May, and standard will get the standard rollout will be in second half of May, first half of June. Outlook on the web and new Outlook is only a standard rollout planned. It's in the first half of May, so you should have it by now. So this will be integrated here on the left side panel as a new Copilot button, which will then start this Copilot integration in Outlook. Next change is Copilot chat in Outlook. That's the same experience as if you go into Teams chat, and on the top you have the Copilot chat in Teams, where you can ask Copilot things, and it will also have the graph grounded chat, meaning graph grounded means it also has all the needed or all the information which the graph or the graph search is able to access in your name. So let's say you have a concept document stored in your OneDrive. You can for sure search this using full text index in Microsoft Search, and therefore Copilot is able to answer questions and get answers out of this document which is stored in your OneDrive as an example. So this will be integrated only into new Outlook, not into classic Outlook, perhaps, let's say, yet. But this change is now about the new Outlook, and you will get the Copilot button on top in here. Clicking this button will start the graph-grounded chat integrated in Outlook. Next change is about Teams meetings. Copilot and Teams meetings will get 16 new languages. This means we have now a total of 27 languages which are now supported inside Teams meetings. So I think that the most used feature currently from Copilot in M365 is the meeting follow-up or meeting, all features regarding Copilot and meetings, AI or let's say creating tasks out of meetings, summarization of meetings and stuff like this. So this is quite important to know that all these additional languages will be now supported. Still not Swiss German, unfortunately, but that's not important for you. For you, it's English and probably also all the other languages in here. Then Copilot and Teams Mobile will get an update regarding Copilot in Teams Mobile for meeting integration. Till now, you were able to access Copilot during a Teams meeting, but now it will also be possible after a meeting for a meeting follow-up or a meeting summarization. But for this to work like everything in Copilot for meetings, the transcription must be switched on for this to work. And especially this one, the transcription must be stored, so it must be persistent transcription. So without this, it wouldn't be accessible after the meeting. Copilot in Word will get a new feature called draft based on text. Currently in Word, you have summarized by Copilot, draft by Copilot as example. And now you will have the option to generate text, new text based on the selected text, list, or table. So in this screenshot, I selected all this text in here, and then the Copilot icon appears. I can go generate from selection, write a prompt, or auto rewrite it. So this the information provided will only be used from the selected text. Web is already rolled out. Win32 and Mac is planned for June, and iPad in first half of July. And complete for all environments should be by August. Then we have a Copilot dashboard group-sized update. First of all, what is Copilot dashboard? Copilot dashboard is an integration into Viva Insights. Therefore, you will need a Viva Insights license additionally to Copilot for M365. And till now, you had a group size requirement to use Copilot dashboard, only starting from 25 active employees. This was sized down. There is no minimum group size anymore. As you can see in the screenshot, we have only one member in this tenant because it's a test tenant with a Copilot for M365 license. Therefore, this is integrated there. So Copilot dashboard is an adoption resource. You will get in there insights how your users in your environment are using Copilot. So it's to make sure that you will get the most out of this not quite cheap license cost out of Copilot. So this is a big help with Copilot dashboard. And there are two metrics. It's tenant level metrics with no minimum, and user level metrics are visible now starting from 5 licensed users. That configurable. So default value is now set to 10, and previously it was 25. So if you have less than 10 users with Viva Insights and Copilot for M365 license, so you can set it down, let's say, to 5. So during if you are currently in a test phase, in a pilot phase for Copilot for M365, I think it would be a good idea to use at least some Viva Insights licenses or Viva Suite licenses to get access to this Copilot dashboard. You could even choose and use a trial license first of all, so you see all these insights, because I think this is very valuable. Another Copilot dashboard extension is the calculation of assisted hours. It gets Copilot assisted hours, and the system will count all the saved hours by Copilot. So it's a breakdown, also breakdown by features and by time. So let's say if you have now an internal hourly rate on your employees, then you could calculate up, oh, we have 13,949 hours saved. This makes so much money and we only pay so much for Copilot license. So you can see the return on investment quite easily with this new integration. It's also in Copilot dashboard. Then we have the Engage adoption community. In Viva Engage, there will be a new community template for Copilot adoption introduced directly into it. This template will be displayed to users with a corporate communicators role, and they also need the Copilot for M365 license. If they have both, they will get a box in home feed and as well one in the Viva Engage admin center to tell them, hey, there is a new community template for Copilot adoption. So this is another adoption resource. It gets a home feed for banners to bring the awareness to your community, to your Copilot for M365 community. You can create it using a one-click community creation. You get a setup checklist, suggested contents, top questions, and suggested members, and based on an organization, based on your Copilot for Microsoft 365 assignment, would make sense to add all users during the which are who are already having Copilot for M365 to this new community. Then we switch now from end user changes to admin changes. Relevance tuning for graph connectors will be introduced. First of all, what are graph connectors? Graph as graph-based search, as mentioned before, can be extended using graph connectors to third-party systems. So let's say you have ServiceNow or Jira, or you still have on-premises file servers. You can full text index them using a graph connector, and afterwards all this content will be searchable inside your Microsoft Search, and therefore graph-based Copilot chat is able to access this information as well. That's a great strength of Copilot, of using all stored information to answer your question or to help you create new content. Now, admins have the option of configure the relevance tuning for these connectors. If they are searchable or textual properties, they can change the importance from default to high to very high, and therefore weight the results coming from these connections and assign this importance level to the source properties of this connection. So you can influence how this will be used, not only in Microsoft Search, but also in Copilot for M365. Another one is an Edge policy update. If you configure Edge policies, it's for the Microsoft Edge browser policies. You have two options, either using group policies with ADMX files, or using config.office.com. So till now, you had the option to use Discover Page Context Enable, and this enabled or disabled Copilot in Edge browser to access external web pages. This, if you configure this, you must reconfigure this policy until July 25th. Then this will be replaced by Copilot Page Context and Copilot CDP Page Context. So there is a distinction between users with commercial data protection licensing, Copilot CDP Page Context, and Copilot Page Context for all other Azure or Entra ID profiles, but just without this commercial data protection licensing. So you have the separate configuration, and therefore you can also choose now if you want to let Copilot only access external page contents for users using the commercial data protection as an example. Last but not least, Power BI Copilot tenant settings will be updated automatically, meaning Copilot is also integrated into Power BI, and till now it was an opt-in preview. And after this change rolled out, then Microsoft will turn on in tenant settings from the Microsoft Fabric or Power BI Admin Center. You will find here Copilot and Azure OpenAI Service Preview. And this was disabled by default. You could enable it for an opt-in preview, and now this will be enabled by default. If you don't like this, then you need to enable it now. Click on Save, disable the feature again, click on Save, and then Microsoft sees that you disabled it by yourself and won't enable it again during the rollout of this change. So that's it for the changes. The next dates or the next time Copilot for M365 edition will be produced is June 19th. It's the same date as I also present the full ChangeCockpit version. The full ChangeCockpit version normally takes place on the third Wednesday of the month from 3 till 5 in the afternoon, Central European time. If you're interested in trying it out, just go to changecockpit.cloud or write me a Teams chat or mail message to rolf@changecockpit.ch. You can also write me if you have any questions to this just announced questions that just announced changes, not questions. If you have questions to the changes, then you just can ask because that's part of this service. So then, thanks for watching. I hope you could get any news out from this short presentation. If you have questions, you can ask, and then I wish you a nice rest of the day and see you next month, and goodbye.